Well, my next guest to join me on the bench for a chat is back in the ring on the 28th of August on the Tszyu and Mizudia card. We're looking forward to it. It's on main event pay-per-view. Michael, the Pretty Boy Zerafa, mate, how are you?
Good, brother. Good. Yourself?
Very good. I'm excited that you're back in the ring. We'll touch on a few different things in the next few minutes, mate. But just a little backstory about you. You're a good old Craigieburn boy, and you started boxing when you were 11 years old. You now got another co-main event coming up. How excited are you? And do you just pinch yourself about where you're at now with your boxing?
Yeah, look, it was just a dream for me. And then obviously, the hard work and dedication paid off. And I knew if I just kept believing in myself and just kept showing up, eventually my time will come. And, unfortunately, I fell short of my last fight for the world title, the big one and the one that counts. But, I've fought, I think, 10, 11 world champions. I've been all around the world. I fought at the biggest stadiums, met my idols, fought my idols. Yeah, man, look, it's crazy how it all unfolded. But I've still got a little bit more to go.
And we're excited about it, and it starts again next Wednesday. I just want to touch on, you alluded to the loss earlier in the year against Lara. What did you take away from that over in Vegas, that particular fight, and that you're gonna take into Wednesday?
I just overtrained. I got very complacent. I was out of the ring for 18 months. No excuses, man. I fought the best, and he beat me on the night. Even if everything went to plan, it still would have been a very, very hard fight. But at 16 to 18 months, I think I was out of the ring, and I just got very complacent. I was doing, the same things every day and just got very comfortable and kept telling myself, I've done a 16-month camp, but I was doing a lot of the wrong things. And, I think I just, overtrained and just mentally cooked myself. And, trying to organize sparring and stuff like that was very hard for that camp. And then had to try to adjust in Vegas 3 weeks out. And a lot of things went wrong, but I'm never the one to make excuses or whatnot. He beat me and I got caught with a shot. That's the sport, now it's time to bounce back and do it all over again.
And you mentioned obviously you've fought some of the best in the world. You've obviously dominated as well some of the best in Australia in terms of Jeff Horn and Anthony Mundine. Now, interestingly, you've teamed up with Glenn Rushton, who was once upon a time in an opposing corner. How does that all work, and how did that come about?
Yeah, me and Glenn have a weird relationship back in the days. We obviously didn't like each other, and obviously we were opponents. And now look, he's been in there and he's got a great boxing brain, and he knows the sport in and out. And obviously he's cornered against me and he's cornered against Tszyu. So, having him moving forward into these next couple of fights is going to be very beneficial. And, he's nothing bad to say about him. He's an absolute gentleman. Obviously we had our past and now moving forward, nothing to say but nice things about him. So, but yeah, he's an absolute gentleman, like I said, and I think moving forward, it's going to be a huge powerhouse in the corner. He's advising me, I'm not training with him, just he's advising me and helping me out.
And you've got a 3-fight plan in place. Obviously, Tommy Browne is the first part of that next week. We're not obviously looking past him, but what do you know about Tommy? And then the next couple of fights that you're hoping for, obviously Tszyu is the ultimate for you, but you might need to get through his brother first.
Yeah, look, Tommy Browne, he's an absolute gentleman. I've met him a few times, and he's nothing but a nice bloke. But unfortunately, he's the opponent on the night, and I expect him to come out full guns blazing, and trying to knock me out. And he's tough. He's been in there and done a lot for the sport. But I think he's definitely past his best, and I think I'm still, miles ahead. But again, it's on the night how you feel, and underneath the bright lights, it's different atmosphere. So for me, like I said, I'm just not looking past anybody. I know I've got a hard fight ahead, and then after that, like I said, Nikita Tszyu, they're shielding Timmy with Nikita. And if I've got to go through him to get Tim, so be it. But one fight at a time. And obviously, Tommy Browne's the first guy up.
And it's exciting because boxing does need characters like yourself. And I know that away from the ring, you're a very humble, genuine human being. And in the ring, though, you've kind of taken that, and this is quoting you, the baton from Anthony Mundine, you've taken that villain type role. How do you like playing that role when you're coming up against your opponents, particularly the rivalry now that you've forged with Tim Tszyu?
Yeah, look, it was hard to adjust at the start, just with all the negativity and backlash I was receiving. But at the end of the day, people aren't hating on me because I've done something wrong. It's just the sport, and there needs to be some character. And like I mentioned before, the Deadpool of the sport. He's the villain, but everyone loves Ryan Reynolds. So I've taken that role. And, I've never met one hater, which is good. But, Sometimes it's pretty hard to read and stuff like that. But I just remember what I'm here for and just trying to bring a bit of, excitement and eyes on the sport. You can't have two guys in there, being lovey-dovey. You got to go in there and try to rustle everybody up a little bit. But at the end of the day, like I said, even if I try to be good, they somehow try to make it bad. So I just roll with it now.
What do you love, mate, about the whole competitive nature of boxing and the fight camps that lead up to it? And also, how did you get the nickname Pretty Boy?
Well, it definitely wasn't for my looks. It was when I was in the amateurs. One of the ring announcers, Howard Lee, he said he's very pretty to watch. My style was very pretty. And he just said, the pretty boy. And I had him pretty much call my fights throughout my whole amateur career. And it just stuck. Every time I fought, he just kept saying the pretty boy. And I think when I turned pro, I'm pretty sure he did the first or second pro fight. And it just stuck, pretty boy. And I couldn't get rid of it. And now, I'm just rolling with it now. But it definitely wasn't me. I didn't choose it. It wasn't my looks. It was just for my style. It was very neat and tidy back then. And I still like to think I'm neat and tidy now. So I kind of roll with it. But yeah, that's how I received that name.
Well, mate, if you're also Ryan Reynolds and the villain, well, I think Pretty Boy ties well in with the Ryan Reynolds analogy anyway. So you're doing well there. You're going to see probably the Tszyu camp.
Brother, yeah.
You'll see the Tszyu camp next week because Nikita's obviously is the main fight of the night. How are things normally when you cross paths with them? Because in Vegas it was a similar situation with Tim that time. Obviously you respect each other for what you guys do, but how is it when you do cross paths?
Look, I say this everywhere. Me and the Tszyu boys, I don't hate anybody. They've done nothing to me. I've done nothing to them. We're just very competitive fighters and athletes. Obviously when Nikita or Tim are fighting, overseas opponents or fighting for world titles, I'm in their corner 100%. We're Aussies, we've got to stick together, But obviously when we're fighting each other, we need rivalries in the sport. And, I had it with Horn, I had it with Hardman, I've got it with Tszyu. So, I've got to fire up and obviously Fox Sports and Main Event and all that stuff tell me to fire up a little bit and go hard. But, look, they've done nothing to me. I wouldn't wish bad upon anybody and I want these guys to lose. And at the end of the day, we're all fighters. We all want the same goal. And, I just feel like, the way we settle things is to fight, and he thinks he beats me. I think I beat him. So there's only one way to settle that, and that is to fight and win, lose or draw. If I beat them, we raise each other's hands. And if he beats me, hopefully he does the same thing. But until then, we just got to keep poking the bear and try to fire him up.
Now, mate, I just want to touch on your journey as a boxer coming up through the ranks. At what point in your life did you think, yeah, this is what I want to do?
Man, I was about 7, and it was the moment I walked in the ring, into the boxing gym. And as soon as I put my first pair of gloves on, I was like, this is just the atmosphere. It was cool, and it was only like a little youth center, a little shed that we used to train out of, and it was in Craigieburn. And yeah, I knew that this was it for me, just to fight in stadiums. And I promised my family one day I'm going to be, a household name and people will be talking about me. And funny enough, they're definitely talking about me, whether it's good or bad, they're going to watch me. But I just knew this sport was for me. I love the dedication. I love the discipline. I love giving back. This sport, I know it's one of the sports that it gives you huge opportunities to always give back. And I love that, whether it's the next generation of kids fighting, whether it's, people with disabilities or, the elderly or whatever it may be, this journey has given me the opportunity to help a lot of people. And, I love that. That's what it's all about, end of the day, a belt, of course it means everything to me, but at the end of the day, it doesn't last forever, so the feeling of helping somebody or making an impact on someone's life for me means the absolute world. So I always have time for everybody. I always, give the t-shirt off my back to whoever wants it. I'll give someone my last dollar. But it's sad sometimes that I always get painted as that guy, the bad guy. But like you mentioned earlier, people that actually know me and have a conversation with you, like, man, you're absolutely a gentleman. So that's what means the absolute world to me.
And I just want to touch on your good deeds, Michael, because I know that in the past you have, you spent your time in some of the elderly homes and teaching them how to box. How rewarding is that for you to be able to go into places like that and share what you know?
It was so rewarding. Like, just to, know that they wouldn't come out of their rooms just because they'd basically given up. And then, to go in there once, twice, and then the next time you come in, they're waiting for you to walk in, like they're coming out of their rooms and they've got this energy and they can't wait to hit the pads. Was absolutely amazing. Like, I literally used to cry sometimes because it was just amazing to see these 80, 90-year-old people, just full of energy and having like a second crack at life, But it got really sad because, I'd walk in there some mornings and they'd say, oh, I'm so sorry, but you know, he or she has passed away, and like it used to break me, you know, because like the week prior or the 2 days prior I was with them, and then obviously because of their age or their condition, you know, they didn't pull through. But that was the hardest thing for me, you know, having them there and then the next time they're not. And you know, I always have, even to this day, I still have, you know, their kids reach out, or you know, their husbands or wives say, you know, you played such a huge role in their life. And again, like for me, even though it was a small amount of time, you know, it was a couple of months, but it was, yeah, like it felt like forever to me.
No, that's a wonderful, wonderful thing that you've done there, mate. Now, in regards to some of your training as a kid again, is it true that your old man used to get up with you at about 4 a.m., drive alongside you, and turn his headlights on in order for you to be able to see the path that you were running down?
Yeah, 100%. You know, the Bacchus Marsh old runs, the Heartbreak Hill. You know, 4 or 5 in the morning, I'd be driving to Bacchus Marsh. We're driving it's about an hour and a half from where we live, and yeah, like he'd be following me in just this dark, swampy place, forest-looking thing, and yeah, we'd just be grinding away. And yeah, now that I'm older now and a lot smarter and more advanced in my career, I found closer hills to run. But yeah, we used to grind out all the time.
Well, mate, I think you know, obviously hearing and watching your journey since you started out as an amateur, I think you've had now about 36 or 37 pro fights. The 4 a.m.s, the hard work, the dedication has certainly paid off, mate. It's really awesome to see you doing so well in the world of boxing, and we know that well, some of us know what a character you are, what a lovely human you are. You do play the villain very well, but we certainly wish you all the best for next Wednesday. I know you're probably not a prediction type operator, but what is the prediction, if there is one, for next Wednesday, and then perhaps going forward?
Look, you know, I never like to put a prediction on anything. Like I never like to call knockouts and whatnot. But you know, I'll go in there to win, and I believe in my ability, and I think I will get the W. But if I see the knockout, I'll take it. Like I said, we're all, you know, friends after the fight, and as long as we both go in healthy and come out healthy, that's all I wish for. But I truly believe, you know, I'm going to go in there and hurt him, and then yeah, move forward to the next.
Michael Pretty Boy Zerafa, mate, I appreciate your time. All the very best for next Wednesday on pay-per-view main event against Tommy Browne on the 28th. And then, of course, we're looking forward to hopefully Nikita Tszyu and his brother Tim down the line as well. You're a superstar. Thanks so much. You represent Craigie Ben well, and anyone who's got a goal. So well done, mate. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, mate. You're a gentleman. Thank you.